All right, it is Tuesday, February 7th, Eastern Outdoors Live. This is our Tuesday night show. We've recently started a Thursday night show focusing on fishing, and this show is going to focus on hunting, trapping, shooting, everything else but fishing, I guess. So, with us tonight, I know the Cats tipped off at 9. Jimmy Carroll's here. He said, forget about the Cats, fire Cal.
Fire.
And let's go. Tuesday night is for Eastern Outdoors Podcast. Trapper Tom is here. He just pushed his dog violently in the face to get him out of the camera. You can see why he is a trapper. Gordy says hi all the way from Ohio.
What's up,
the Cats are playing later. Oh, okay. Just pick up some no plow food plot. Nice, Jimmy. Jimmy's getting ready for next deer season. Nice. Brent says, good evening, fellas. Good evening, Brent. Good evening, PK. PK, are you on the construction side or are you at home watching, my friend? Mike, our old buddy Mike Collins is watching from home tonight, not feeling well, a.k.a. the Cats are playing. And he said, keep getting after the Predators, Trapper Tom. Christopher Halstead says, go Cats. Who are we playing? Arkansas? I think we have – Arkansas came into the year as a, really good, hyped team, and they've struggled too. So this is a big win. It's a big win or big game.
I'll say right off the bat, it seems like our notification is actually went out a lot quicker.
Yeah, it's week to week. Jacob Nance says go Vols. He is now banned from the page.
Oh, wow. Trapper Tom's going to say the same thing.
Tom?
Yeah, I wouldn't be against that, man. Is that all right with you?
Tom, where are you from? Tom, where are you from originally?
I'm from New Jersey originally, but I've been
New Jersey?
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Are you from Jersey Shore or where?
Oh.
I gotta go already? Oh man.
No, I'm serious. That's the only place I know in Jersey. Hoboken, maybe? Is that a place in New Jersey?
Yeah, Hoboken.
Newark.
None of those.
I'm just throwing out locations, man.
I'm from a town called Long Valley.
Long Valley, nice. Jimmy says next week won't make it to the live. Going to be on a cruise to the Caribbean. Do you guys say Caribbean or Caribbean?
Caribbean.
I say Caribbean.
Okay, so 3 wrongs.
Okay.
On live.
Okay.
Now, I thought of this the other day. If it's the movie, I say Pirates of the Caribbean. Any other time, I say Caribbean. So I don't know.
John Allen, don't you feel like John is on one tonight? Like he's came in here like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, man, he's coming off the top rope.
Let me tell you, I've been home. Real estate is slow. If you're we got 29 people plus the 3 with me in here. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, or you know someone who is, holler at me. I can help them. It's a little slow right now. I've got a few clients that are looking. Not a lot of houses on the market. So if you're thinking about selling your house, let's get it done. Let's get you a check and buy you a better house, bigger, smaller, whatever. Bigger doesn't always mean better when it comes to houses, right? Jeremy says, y'all need to have these talks on Wednesday or something, not on Cats night. I think the Cats should change their games to Wednesday.
Yeah, I think we're probably more popular than the Cats.
Wow, is the State of the Union on?
Oh, yikes.
I didn't know that.
We're
probably getting more views than Biden.
Very possible.
Sorry, Tom. I know Tom's a big Biden fan. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow, man. You're really coming off the top rope.
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Coming from a guy that didn't kill a deer this year running a hunting show, I mean, it's come on.
I'll be right back.
That's what. Oh, I ran him off.
We're talking about coming off the top ropes. I had to break it to my 10-year-old son this week that John Cena is not a real wrestler. It's all for show. And I devastated his world.
Oh my gosh. Man. You know what? I watch a lot of old wrestling clips on TikTok. And those guys have said they get very offended if you say it's not real.
Big time.
Here's what they say. It's scripted, but it's real. I understand that. Jeremy says, okay.
He's got a point.
I stopped. More shots fired in this live than at the Chinese balloon. Actually, I was going to talk about that. We got 3 Army guys here with us tonight. I'm not going to ask their opinion on the Chinese spy balloon. I'm just glad we survived it. We have now.
I just want to know what Tom is taunting you with right now. John. I feel like this is like a power play where he's just saying, "Look what I have."
Oh, it's
That's
just
all I need to say.
that I
Tom's
got.
just showing off is that from this year, Tom?
Yes, sir. That's with the cross.
That was your first buck, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's with the 10-point
Well,
crossbow.
the first you killed 2 this year, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
John,
Here's
how many
the
did you kill?
truth.
John, how'd you kill? How many did you kill?
Let me tell you something.
Oh, wait. How many? How
Tom,
many
show
did you
that.
kill last
Tom,
year?
show that rack again.
How about
Yes,
last year?
Sean or Tom, show that rack again.
It's
Now,
right.
Tom, tell us how you took that deer.
I shot that with the 10-point crossbow.
With whose 10-point crossbow?
You're breaking up.
It was my 10-point crossbow. So all of Tom's success can be directly traced back to me.
That's a fair point.
I would
So I'm
to
like
say
the guy
yes.
that can affect the game without having to score.
That's how heroes are made.
There you go. I'm the glue guy. So anyway, Trapper Tom got a good one. So today we did post a video of Trapper Tom, and I tell you, the guy, what is it, 2 years you've been trapping?
Oh man, I'm gonna blow your mind. I've been trapping beaver for about 2 years, like water trapping. I
Okay.
started land trapping in December.
Okay. So he just started, and this guy's crushing it. And
Yeah.
if you want to go to our page, Eastern Outdoors Media, you can see a video. He's got a longer video on his YouTube channel, and we just took that and kind of condensed it down a little bit, where it's like all the bobcat that he caught. But this bobcat was not happy. It was very angry to be caught in that trap. And Tom, it was barely hanging on, like by a fingernail.
Yeah,
You were almost bobcat dinner.
yeah. I realized that shortly after after dispatching the animal, I was like, "Oh, buddy, that guy, he was not really in there."
Yeah, yeah. Do you,
Which
is
is crazy.
it possible for him to be like maybe he started off with a better hold and he just worked his way out, or is it just it barely got him?
I think it barely got him. Those animals, I guess, are super sensitive and super slow when they move in on things. And man, I got lucky.
Jordan Friend says he wished the Chinese would have checked his traps for him, would have saved him a lot of walking. Maybe that's what he was doing. You know, I've heard the Chinese are buying up a lot of farmland. Maybe they're just getting into hunting. And that was their just checking out the landscape, seeing where most of the deer are. I think it did come directly through Kentucky. So, you know, Gordy said his buddy trapped a bobcat and had to release it. He said it was wild getting it out. Yeah,
Man.
I'm going to
How
dispatch
would you
that
do that?
every time.
I don't know how you would do that. I mean, I'm
Well-
sure there's tools, but
I watched a video of a woman who had trapped a bobcat, and she had like it looked like a car hood that she had cut the bottom out, like a notch in the bottom, and she put it down over the paw, and the animal's body was on the other side, couldn't get to her, and she released it and it took off. That was pretty cool. It was like a
That's cool.
homemade.
That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Yeah, it was awesome. We already got a friend. Not a friend. Well, he is a friend. I don't know him, but he
Is
can be
that
my
YouTube
friend.
viewer?
What's the best trap to catch rabbits other than a 12 gauge?
That's got to be a live trap.
I'd say live trap with something like carrots in there. I don't know, man. But most
That
people-
sounds so. I mean, that just sounds like something you see on a cartoon. I was thinking the same thing.
but I
like
think snares would be
Carrots,
Snares. Yeah.
snares. That's what.
set some snares.
Have you guys ever watched that TV show Alone,
Oh, yeah.
where they're dropped off on a remote
a
part
great
of an island, and that's what they use for rabbits or snares. So yeah. So there you go. Adventures with Fur and Feathers. I'm guessing it's snares. Hey guys, if you've not shared this live already, please do that. When I checked a while ago, we were like 20 people away from having 62,000 followers, which is a number I never expected us to get to. Right. I remember when we had 1,000 and I was like, wow, that's insane. Now we have 62 times that from all over the country. I never thought we'd get there, but now our goal is to get to 100,000 by the end of the year.
We
And
definitely.
we can the four of us can't do that, right? It's up to you guys. So we'd love for you to share this, invite your friends to like the page, tell them about our show on Tuesday and Thursday and whatnot. And Billy Outdoors kisses possums before releasing them. Wow.
Okay.
It's a bold
Yeah.
move.
I saw Billy Outdoors. Let's see. He said, nice rack, Tom. Or maybe that's a she. Sorry, Billy. It's a she.
I think that is a she. Yeah,
Billy
I
with
think
an
that's-
IE.
I think I've seen some videos or pictures of her online trapping because you don't see that a lot, females trapping, although they certainly can. And I remember thinking, Billy, oh, it's female. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
Billy said she does. They need love too. Don't give away her secrets. Troy wants to know how everybody's doing tonight. Josh, how are you doing tonight?
I'm friggin' fantastic, dude.
Josh had knee surgery when?
Last Monday.
Had knee surgery last Monday, and he went to his son's doctor's appointment today, and his stitches popped out.
Yep.
So what an eventful day for him.
Yeah. Yep.
Slow down.
Yeah, that happened today. Yep.
Nice.
It was kind of odd because we were in the room, I guess, waiting for the doctor to come, and Nathan was like, "Hey, Dad, can I see your stitches?" And I was like, "Yeah," and whatever. And I just pulled my knee over, and I was like, "My stitches are popped out." So we finished up his appointment, walked over to ortho, and they fixed me up.
Scott Butler, the reason I wasn't laughing at you, Josh, I actually wasn't even listening. Scott Butler said, Bobcats are mean, but take a piece of sausage off of John's plate. Better look out. I prefer bacon. I ate bacon for breakfast.
Whether it's bacon or the sausage, you don't want to get around his plate. He'll bite you, son.
I'll bite that finger off, Scott. You better watch it. You better watch it. Snare rabbit and a fox or coyote will have eaten it by daylight too. That's probably a good point right there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We got some insight here. This guy says, and let us know who you are, the person that said this. We can only see the Facebook user, which I hate. I took 2 of the coons I trapped and laid them on a log and put a camera on them to see if a coyote would get them. And yesterday, I went up to my farm, checked my traps, and I noticed one of the coons was gone. I found it buried under a pile of leaves. When I pulled photos up on camera, it was a bobcat that buried it.
Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hey, whoever you are, thank you for that comment. Send us those pictures. If they're clear pictures, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that's great.
That's pretty cool, man.
And Scott Butler, bless his heart, he hid all his dog-proof traps so good he can't find them.
Oh,
So
Happens to the best.
there are some raccoons just rotting with their hand in those dog.
You know what? You know, saying that though, I was thinking the other day, Tom, because I was asking you how many traps you had out, and I know you have a ton of them out, and you know your property like the back of your hand, but you have so many traps out, dude. How do you keep up with all of them? Have you ever lost a trap?
Man, that is hysterical that you bring this up today. I was checking my traps this morning, particularly for a dog proof, and I walked up to where it's been for weeks, and there was nothing there. The trap was gone. The dirt was all messed up, like something came out and grabbed it, and I'm like, someone stole my trap. And I was 30 minutes away driving to work. I'm like, oh crap, I moved that trap. I know exactly where it is. But I moved it. I was exhausted coming back from a duck hunt. And yeah, man, I completely forgot where it was. So it happens. It definitely does.
Yeah.
Scott corrected me. He didn't hide them and set them. He hid them in his shed or his garage. Heck, he doesn't know, he said. I'm with PK. Do you use Onyx or one of those apps, Tom, to keep track?
That's a really good idea that I'm just now thinking.
You don't?
No. I just set them where I know they're signed, and then like Josh said.
Which says a lot about you, though, man, that you can keep up with all that.
That's a good memory.
That's
no wonder you're higher ranked than Josh.
I can't remember what I ate for lunch.
See, that's true. So the person with the pictures, that was WO, one of our favorites. WO. He was on our show on Thursday. He had some huge bass. WO, if you're on there this Thursday, I'm going to show that picture you sent me from Kentucky Lake with all those bass on there. So I heard a story. Where was I? I don't remember where I was, but I saw, whenever Groundhog Day was, did y'all see that Groundhog Day? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Groundhog Day. That is an animal that needs trapped because it said we have 6 more weeks of winter.
Yep.
And my first thought really was, how do you trap groundhogs? I don't believe in Groundhog Day. I don't believe that the groundhog accurately predicts that we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter because he saw a shadow. What do you do with groundhogs? Do you trap them?
Man, I've been trying to figure them out on my property because they have, if you find one hole, there's probably 8 others somewhere around there.
Yeah.
They have many exits and stuff. I've snared them. I've put footholds in front of them. I've sat there with a 22. Nothing, man. I've not been able to find them or get them. So if I figure it out, I'll let you know.
They're a nuisance. I went to a friend's house. We had a end of deer season get together cookout. Everybody was supposed to bring wild game, But as Josh has pointed out several times, I didn't kill a deer, so I brought baked beans. And it's a true story.
He's not a hunter, guys. He's a gatherer.
And we were talking, as a buyer from Sonny's, and we were talking, and I was like, they have coyotes in their neighborhood. It's a huge subdivision in Lexington, and have coyotes in their neighborhood and groundhogs everywhere. And I thought, how do you get rid of those? I didn't know. Keith says 220 conibear for groundhogs.
Billy Outdoors says you got to use cantaloupe as bait.
Ooh, nice. Billy is dropping some knowledge.
Yeah.
Listen, we made a post.
I got there, I would already have all the cantaloupe eat because I love cantaloupe.
Ugh, hate it. We made a post last Wednesday telling everyone, drop your February trapping photos. Now, people were dropping photos from last year and this and that, and that's okay. We love that too. But we said every photo you put in the comments of a trapped animal from February 1st, February 28th, every Wednesday, which is tomorrow, we are going to draw a winner for a random winner. So if you drop 100 photos or one, you're entered to win a hoodie or a tumbler, some Eastern Outdoors gear. And there are women on there that are, and this is not like a gender roles thing, but the women are really outperforming a lot of the men on there. Yep. I don't know if Billy personally has dropped anything on there, but there were two women. One woman caught the biggest raccoon I've ever seen. It looks like a wolf.
Yeah, I saw that. It looks like some kind of hybrid animal.
It's crazy. Wow. And then one woman caught, like, back-to-back days, she had like a raccoon and then a skunk. So yeah, I think that was awesome. Groundhogs live trap, Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies. Now that's not making it to the trap.
I'm about to say that's going to be hard for me to put that in trap because I might eat that if it's in the trap. But hey, I can tell you in central Kentucky, where I grew up, not too far from Lexington, people hate groundhogs because if you have expensive horses, what's the most likely thing to dig a hole and cause your expensive horse to break a leg? I knew a guy I worked with on a horse farm. He would darn near run off the Dagburn Road to run over a groundhog with his car because he hated it.
I'm going to start doing.
All he did was horse industry. That was his whole life. But man, there's a major groundhog hate culture in central Kentucky horse country, man.
And probably moles too, which moles is not an animal you trap. But my backyard is soft in many places because of moles.
John Allen, at the end of deer season this year, John realized he wasn't going to kill a deer. He started running off the road trying to hit deer. So he understands.
Yeah.
Did you get any?
I would drive very slowly across the Western Kentucky Parkway, and as I see him, I'd speed up. I figured, you'd call the game warden. I got a truck. I'm not really concerned about it being damaged. Hit it. It's fresh meat right there. My truck's right there. Just throw it in the back, call the game warden, get a tag.
Yeah.
No problem here. I've heard groundhogs are pretty tasty. I've never tried it either. Now, Tom, I was disappointed in you because I asked Josh if you were going to prepare a meal with the bobcat, and he said no.
Now let me get some facts out there.
Okay, listen, I don't take Josh for his word, so you're fine. Go ahead. This is your time.
Before Tom even says anything,
no, he is the guest. He's talking. Go ahead, Tom.
I did not say no.
So I'm on the fence with what to do with this bobcat right now. Right now, it's sitting in a freezer intact. Okay. Right. So if I flesh it out, skin it out, and tan it, then I will make a meal with the bobcat meat.
Okay.
I've heard it's really good.
I have too.
That?
Never tried it, but I've heard it's great.
I've heard good things. However, if I do a full body mount, I'll have to get another one.
Yeah. Well, so that's what Josh said. He didn't mess up the hide, but I also have a friend. You can find him on TikTok, Fishing with Tate. He has like 250,000 subscribers on there. He's excellent, but he's been trapping. It's not really great fishing time. So he's been trapping. And people on TikTok have given him a very hard time about, oh, you're trapping these animals, blah, blah, blah. So he's been cooking them.
Oh, yeah.
So he made a raccoon pizza. He said it was, he gave it like 7.5 out of 10. He made a possum taco. He said, terrible.
Yeah, not going to do that.
This was the kicker. Fox. He's trapped a fox. He has snared 2 foxes. The first one he dispatched. and just probably fed it to the coyotes. The second one, he took the hind leg, put it in a crock pot like a roast with some potatoes and carrots, and he said it was fantastic.
Yep, I seen that.
And I'm like, rabies, fox, I don't know. But he said it was fantastic. So,
dude, I thought all that was weird to eat until I started talking to Tom, and he talked about how good beaver was.
Man.
Yeah.
And what was crazy to me even more about it was I can't even get my son to eat deer meat. But you said around Christmas time that your boys, you were like, "What do y'all want for Christmas dinner? Do y'all want deer meat?" And I was like, "No." Do y'all want turkey? No. You was like, "You all want beaver?" And it's like, "Yeah."
Exactly
Rico
right.
Bell cooks up raccoon, says it's amazing. Raccoon, I saw on Meat Eater. Raccoon ate. They ate raccoon like pulled pork, but it was raccoon. I don't know what you call raccoon.
Uh-oh. Would almost rather have a foot taco than a possum taco.
Oh man, are we bringing that back up? All right, so let's talk to Tom. John Allen, do you remember this?
No, I do not.
About the foot taco?
Nope, no recollection.
Bring it
I
up.
think John does. I think that was a show that John just sat there like I can't believe I joined these guys. So I'll tell Tom. Tom, are you familiar with the show Meat Eater?
I am, yeah.
All right. So on their podcast, they talked about a guy who had to have his foot amputated. And he asked the doctor.
Oh, I remember this now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He asked the doctor if he could keep it.
His own foot.
Okay. And he brought it home and he put it in a crock pot like a roast, and they made tacos out of it. And his friends tried it. And I just said, my own foot, maybe. Anyone, definitely not Josh's.
Definitely not mine.
Definitely not. He even agrees with that. His feet are gross.
I hate my
But
feet.
his own foot, my own foot, I mean, I'm not. That was a weird conversation. Mike Collins was so uncomfortable during that conversation, which fueled my desire to continue it. So, Tom, is it a strict no for you?
That's about as hard a no as I could give you.
Okay.
Leaving.
Well, Jimmy said he would almost accept the foot taco. I completely forgot about that story over a possum taco. Scott says young groundhogs are tasty. Young everything. Well, I mean, maybe a young foot taco. No, I'm just kidding.
Since we're on the subject of just eating weird things, you just trapped a coyote. I know some people have tried coyote. I've never tried coyote. Would you all eat it? Would you try?
No for me.
A coyote, I would have at one time, but after talking to people who have tried it, it's a no. John Allen, have you ever tried it?
No, I don't think I would, man. Didn't Meat Eater do a coyote?
Yeah, they've done everything. Hey, listen, if you're watching, if you're in the comments, I want to know what's the craziest thing you've ever had to eat. Doesn't have to be wild game. What's the craziest, worst thing you've ever had to eat?
Oh, I got one for you. I'll just go ahead and start it off right here.
Okay.
So I was in a training exercise. Tom's very familiar with this in the Uwharrie National Forest. And
North Carolina?
What's that? North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay.
We had some people in our camp. You're living in a camp, right? So
right.
You're sleeping like under a tarp. We have some Montagnards in our camp. Montagnards are from Vietnam. So these are people that met soldiers in Vietnam.
We are not going to use derogatory terms on this show.
Montagnards is the name of the tribe.
Okay.
Yeah, Montagnards is a tribe. Okay.
Like, I wasn't familiar with that, so I was just playing it safe.
And they live way up in, like, I'm talking about remote areas of Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
They trap birds using snares.
Okay.
And they use like the foot snares where it's like a small sapling. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
But here's how they cook the birds. We're talking about Tweety birds here, songbirds.
Poof birds.
Oh man, isn't that illegal in the United States?
Okay, these guys grew up in Vietnam, so it's irrelevant.
Right.
Yes, I would think that you're not supposed to shoot songbirds in the United States. Okay, anyways, so he got a stick. He showed me. He took his little Tweety bird, and he just started smashing it. He just smashed it, like pulverized it
with a rock,
with a big stick, and then he threw it in the fire and burned the feathers off.
Okay.
And then he like moved it into the flat part of the ashes and let it slow cook in this flat part of the ashes, and he just ate it like a chicken nugget.
Did you take a bite?
Guts, beak.
Yeah.
I mean, the bird's this big. And then I taught, he didn't know very much English. One of the other guys knew a little bit more. And I was like, what in the Sam Hill are you doing? And he's like, well, we grew up, we ate everything. Like, we did not eat a part of the animal. And I was like, dude, that is absolutely insane. Now,
I bet Vietnamese have foot tacos as appetizers.
As appetizers. Yeah, dude.
We had some comments. We had some comments. First of all, when Jimmy apologized for bringing up foot tacos, okay, Jimmy, I think it's funny. Some people don't, but it is. Kyle Sams, my good friend, says this just took a dark turn. So we're coming back to the light now, Kyle, with gross foods. Muskrat is really good. I've never had it.
It's good.
Scott said we'd eat a buzzard. Don't think I could eat a buzzard. Turtle. I don't think turtle's weird. A lot of people eat turtle, right?
Snapping turtle.
I've never had turtle.
I mean,
Kyle's had skunk jerky.
Golly,
I would just assume it's tangy.
No. I
know you cut like the gland out or whatever, but I would think it's tangy. Seth said octopus. That's like a what word am I looking for?
Delicacy
in a lot of places.
Oh yeah, that's delicious.
I mean, it's calamari. Josh loves calamari.
Well, calamari's fried squid, but a lot of places will fry up
octopus is good too.
Alan's been correcting us since before the show.
He does it well.
Snapping turtle, cow tongue.
Oh, that's
I've seen people eat.
Grocery store.
I've seen people eat. Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
It's in the grocery store. Like, you can buy that. That's nothing, man.
Cow tongue?
Yeah.
Pig ears and things like that. Yeah. That's country food right there. Billy, where are you from, Billy? I wouldn't say worst thing. Let's just pull this one up. I wouldn't say the worst thing, but after duck hunting in Louisiana a few years back, they made us squirrel gumbo. But the craziest part is they were popping the skulls open and eating the brains.
Yeah.
So I had to try it. Well, James, we have to have a review of squirrel brains. I've heard of a lot of people eating squirrel brains.
I've never heard of that.
What is the review?
The Duck Dynasty dudes all the time on their show, they would literally do it right on the show. Eat the squirrel brains.
So Jordan says he's heard snapping turtle's good, but he must have got a bad batch.
Yeah.
Chicken gizzards, man, our mom loves chicken gizzards.
It's good in the gravy too.
Squirrel brains. Seth says squirrel brains. Tom, what's the weirdest thing you've ever had to eat?
Well, same situation John had. I was overseas, and the guys we were working with, a little less cooked, but the same concept. They would take a songbird that was obliterated by a 12 gauge, rip the wings off, and throw it on a fire, aka a lighter.
Oh, nice. A Zippo.
The 3.2 seconds per side, and then eat it. So they cooked one for themselves, and then they handed one to my buddy and I.
How was it?
Buddy, it was the worst thing I've ever. It was raw songbird with feathers.
Yeah.
It was terrible. But I had to eat it. It was in front of people that.
Kyle Sams followed up and said it's definitely illegal to kill songbirds, but they're not playing by the same rules here. Josh, weirdest thing you've ever had to eat?
Probably,
See, I'm the same.
Probably camel.
Camel?
Yeah, camel.
That's
how
weird.
was it?
Yeah,
these guys are more cultured than
it wasn't. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
They've had so many vacations around the world.
Military tourism, baby.
I'm using the vacation because we don't want to get into assignments, but camel. Compare it to something. Because you can't compare a songbird to anything.
It had its own flavor. It wasn't like chicken. I would say
goat.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
it's got a musk to it.
Yep.
For sure. The smell of sheep. If you've ever been around sheep or livestock in general, they got a musk. Well, animal kind of have a little bit of a musk. Goat have a stronger musk than sheep.
Yeah. Okay.
The one thing I never could get on board with, though, that I've tried twice, and maybe it just wasn't cooked right.
What?
Frog legs.
No, I like some frog legs.
I love frog legs.
And I just didn't have them the right way because I ate them immediately. Was like, ugh, and I never again.
Did you have skin on or skin off?
Say again?
Was it skin on or skin off?
Honestly, I'm not sure. They just fried.
I have no idea.
They were fried. That's all I know.
So I always take the skin off, and when you take the skin off, you take a lot of that kind of like fishy.
Yeah.
I thought everyone took the skin off.
that seems a little crude to just cut a leg off and fry that sucker with skin on.
That sounds gross.
There.
I eat catfish with the skin on.
Do you really?
Yeah, I mean,
You fry with one side, you do a fillet instead of getting that other side, so you can get a little
But
more.
you don't eat the skin.
Yeah, no way.
If you deep fry a frog leg,
I have eaten the skin, but yeah, you typically don't. Yeah.
okay. Kyle Sam's giving some life advice. Don't eat brains of any kind.
He's right.
I think that's good. Billy says Billy Outdoors says frog legs are the best. Did Billy tell us where she's from? I don't think so.
Jordan
where's she trapping at? That's what I'm curious.
Just be cautious when someone says, "Uh-oh, it went away. Try this," but they won't tell you what it is. I feel like you guys have probably been in that situation.
Oh yeah.
Where you've been out down range, as you say. Is that correct?
That's good.
And yeah, I've been around, Tom. And you've been downrange and you've exhausted, and somebody from a local cooks you food and you just eat it. Have you been in that situation? You're like, I don't care what it is.
I mean, I always care what it is because dysentery is a real thing. But
the Oregon Trail,
you either eat or you don't.
Yeah. And I've
boiled
been in dysentery camp.
Now, Jimmy says iguana is tasty. I have a friend who lives in Florida. He's a Facebook friend. I'd like to be his friend. And he kills iguanas. And I didn't realize how large those things were until I saw him holding one up. I would try them. Our uncle came back from Florida one time and brought Josh. I don't think you were even born yet. I was little. And he brought like a huge platter of alligator. Like it was no skin on, but it was still like an alligator. And dude, we ate the crap out of that thing.
The alligator was delicious.
Gosh, I loved it. Boiled chitlins taste exactly like what a hog lot smells like. I don't even know what chitlins are.
It's the intestines.
I understand why. Billy's from Pennsylvania. So is Alan Probst from Pennsylvania. That's like a trapping state right there. Yeah,
chitlins is pretty common in especially like North Carolina, South Carolina.
In the deep South, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've heard of them. I didn't know what they were. Listen.
Was it the toe, Josh?
Tom is from New Jersey. I skipped that on purpose, Josh. Tom is from New Jersey. Well, John Allen, you're from Central Kentucky.
Yep.
Me and Josh are from the mountains, where in the mountains, you eat some weird stuff sometimes, like pig ears, cow tongue, boiled chitlins. We didn't really experience any of that because our mama was the best cook in the world, and it was biscuits and gravy and bacon. It was that. If Scott Butler wants to know why you don't take a piece of sausage off my plate, it's because I grew up with my mama, and that sausage was good. Jimmy says there's a restaurant in Lexington that makes an outrageously good gator po' boy. Drop the name, Jim.
Hey, Billy says she's from Pennsylvania.
Are you serious?
I mean, I'm looking in the comments. Billy Outdoors. I'm from.
I don't think he heard you the first time.
John, I literally just said, "Oh, Billy's from Pennsylvania." Alan Probst is also from Pennsylvania.
Oh,
that must be a big trapping state.
Okay.
And that.
John turned 40 this year, or last year.
The depths of senility.
It is the beginning of the end, John.
And obviously, my memory and aptitude to stay abreast of your guys' chatter is showing my age.
Speaking of Alan Probst, he runs North American Trapper. Are you familiar with him, Tom?
Oh yeah, I watch his
excellent resources. Yeah, excellent resources. He will be, and I've already reached out and said, hey, let's hang out next week at NWTF in Nashville. And I'm just wondering who all is going to be there, because if you're going to be there, talking to you guys in the comments, we would love to see you. We'd love to meet you, take a picture, shake your hand in person. Josh is going to be down there. John Allen's going to be down there at least one day. Tom, do you think you can get away and come join us?
Remind me of the dates again, would you?
It's next Thursday, Friday, Saturday is when we're going to be there.
I can probably spend a Thursday. We'll see.
Okay.
What was the name of the guy again you said we're going to meet down there? The Trapper?
Alan Probst.
Oh, I met him in Paducah at the
you sure did.
Sportsman Expo. Yeah.
Yep.
Good dude. Good
dude. Oh, Storm and Crab on Nicholasville Road. Yeah, I eat there like right after they open.
We have a a Storm and Crab, I think, in Clarksville. I've never.
I used to live about 15 minutes from there, Jimmy, and I moved to Frankfort. I lived in Nicholasville then, and it was very good. I didn't have the Gator Po' Boy, but it was good.
Do they still have Uncle Bud's Catfish over in Lexington?
Never heard of it.
Oh, okay. There used to be one. They used to have catfish fillets and white navy or navy beans, white beans, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Good.
There is a Jim Seafood in Frankfort. It sits right on the Kentucky River. I went in there once, opened the menu, saw the prices, and immediately left.
This isn't for me.
I thought it was over. I was like, come on. But anyway, well, Tom, we're so glad you're here. Trapping, you've only been trapping like non-water animals, I guess you would say, since December.
Yes, sir.
How many traps are you running right now?
Oh man, you're gonna make me lie on live Facebook.
It's okay. We do it all the time.
Yeah, like probably 8 dirt hole sets for coyotes, bobcats, and things like that, and then half dozen dog proofs in the same cage trap, something like that.
The dirt hole sets? What do you call those traps?
Footholds.
Footholds. So they're not like a 110 or a 2, anything like that.
Oh, those are the conibears. Those are like the kill traps, the body grip traps that you
like
see.
The big ones. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they make them small too, but those are not what I'm running right now. I can't.
Okay.
The only ones I have are too big to put on the ground. I'd get in trouble with the law.
And what have you? Because you've been crazy successful at this. Like either your farm is just overrun with predators, or you're just really good, or both. What have you found to be like the best bait, like the best mixture of bait? What's your go-to that you see brings the animals in consistently?
Well, we can start with the nest raiders. So when I first started trapping, I just threw a bunch of sets out for nest raiders, the possums, the raccoons, and the skunks and things like that. And I've found I just mixed up random things I had, and what I used for them is cat food, jelly, and honey, and marshmallows. I went
all together.
Just mix it up in a big mason jar, let it get nasty. I didn't care if it was out in the sun, if it was in the shed.
Yeah.
It was all sorts of stuff kind of mixed together, and I would just use that as bait. That worked really stinking well for the nest raiders. I'm going to share this with everyone. I had a guy from Kentucky Fish and Wildlife. I think he is a private land biologist. He's a great guy. His name's Joe Lacefield. He commented on our post about people sharing their trapping photos, and he said that the best bait he has used is soured corn. He said because the mice and the ants won't touch it, but all the other critters like possums, raccoons, skunks will. And so I messaged him because I said, hey, Joe, this might be a stupid question, but I saw your comment. How do you sour the corn? Because I said I have a half a bag in the back, in a tote in the back of my truck. It's been there. It still smells super fresh. How am I going to sour that corn? And he said he boils it to soften it. Then he lets it sit for a week covered in water. He said he uses it for carp bait, which I thought, oh, that's a cool way to catch carp. But he uses it for carp bait, and the coons keep getting on his dock and eating it. And so he started using it in his dog proofs, and he said it's awesome. It is awesome, weatherproof. Mice and ants don't bother it. So there you go. That's a big issue because I've been having, since I've thinned out the nest raiders, I've been noticing my traps are empty from the bait that I've been using. So I put a camera on there, and you're 100% right.
There you go.
Mice are wearing it out.
Tom, I just single-handedly made you a more efficient trapper.
I'm here to learn, man.
There we go. That's what we do. Kyle Sam says, how many hunters feed deer corn throughout the year? Think about the increase in predators in relation to that. There can be a correlation. 100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree. Hey, I thought I saw Kyle say Joe Lacefield knows the stuff, and I thought it said Joe Lacefield. So I said, hey, Joe's on here, but he's not. It's just Kyle. But we love Kyle. I'm not discrediting Kyle. Kyle's amazing. Jimmy said that is also the beginning of moonshine mash.
Yeah, that's what it is. You get it wet, let it sit.
There you go. The golf ball on top of dog proof helps as well. I've seen Tate, the guy talked about on TikTok. He's been doing that. That's cool. That's cool. Billy said that was her thought, but I'm not. I guess she's talking about the golf ball too. So there you go. Golf ball or soured corn.
So what are you doing? What are you doing with the beaver though? Because that's submerged, isn't it? Or is it on land right before the beaver are going into the water?
No, my trap's in the water there, John, and it's basically
how are you putting like a food source without or something on it to make it smell without the water washing that away?
Yeah, man. So if I'm either doing like a blind set, meaning I'm just putting a trap where the beaver are swimming in one of their runs in deep water and just hoping that at that particular day that one swims in there and eats the conibear. If I'm doing one not involved that, like a baited set, I'm going to do a caster mound set primarily. And that's taking some of the beaver caster, putting it on a dirt mound on the bank of the river or the creek or the stream, whatever. And then a foothold trap bedded in the water where I expect that beaver to come up and investigate that caster mound. And then he'll go to deep water and drown.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I heard you talk in one of your videos about a drown set, or I don't know how you phrase it exactly.
I make it up every time.
Yeah. Well, I know I've seen people do that though, where the beaver drowns, and that's I don't see that as cruel. Some people do, but yeah, I think chewing through your trees and cutting those down are cruel. So Mike, just like Mike said, he's got several beavers tearing up his uncle's place, and I've seen that. It is cool to see a tree that's looks like a pencil, like two pencils on top of each other. That is kind of cool that a beaver can do that, but it's such a nuisance.
And go ahead.
If you got a creek on your property and you've got beavers, I mean, it's going to change the landscape. It's going to reroute the creeks. It's going to change the water flows. I mean, depending on if you're running livestock or whatever, you may or may not want that. You may want, a normal flowing creek for a specific area.
Right.
And I mean, you talk to look at the Duck Dynasty guys. They're always trying to take out the beavers because it's messing up where they're flooding their timber.
Yeah. I sent you guys a video of what, Josh?
I was going to say, Tom, have you ever thought about going to one of those dams and getting some dynamite and just blowing it all to hell?
Not if I want to trap them, man. I'm stay in place till I kill them all.
The reason I ask, I know those shows are all scripted and stuff, but they did that once.
Yeah.
And dude, the other day when I was watching one of your videos from like October, and I think you had just took a part of the dam and kind of removed it. They'd already built it back.
Oh yeah.
I thought, dude, I would be like extremely entertained if he just dropped some dynamite down in there. I was like, all right,
yeah.
Bad boy.
I sent you guys that video of them, Duck Dynasty. They set the dynamite and put napalm.
Yeah.
And then they took a flaming arrow and shot it, and it had to be fake.
Yeah, because
it exploded like a action movie, like
and fire does not
movie.
set off dynamite. Dynamite will burn like a log of wood.
Yeah. So anyway, it was funny, and I sent it to you guys and said, look, this would be great content. So I'm down to try something like that as long as we're far away.
Hey, we could put tannerite in there, Tom, and shoot it.
Oh yeah,
blow it all the heck that way.
I would do that.
That would be one
I was going to ask you about different like sizes of traps. But I seen something kind of weird last night on North American Trapper. So they have a Duke cast steel bear trap.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as I seen that, I'm thinking that just sounds really illegal. So I started like reading into it, and it says, due to most legal reasons, the bear traps are not for use in the field. And then it says, having one of these bear traps will surely stir some excitement for your guests, though. And I'm thinking, like, what? Are we like going to go bury it outside? Whoever steps on it wins.
I have seen several. What am I thinking of? Trail cam pictures of bears with 3 legs. Really? I really have. I've sent you guys one before.
From a trap?
I don't remember that.
I don't know if it's from a trap, but that's what people think.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Awesome. Kyle says, regardless of Duck Dynasty, beavers can make great waterfowl habitat. Many of the places I hunt ducks have been created by beavers, so that's cool.
Oh yeah.
Kyle, I also want to ask you, dude, it totally just left my brain. What was I going to ask him?
How to deer hunt?
Oh. No, I've already asked him that, and he's helped me all he can.
Wow.
And
lead a horse to water, man.
Poor guy. I was going to ask his thought on something.
Running beaver?
No, we'll keep going. It'll come
while
back.
you're thinking about that, Tom, I was going to ask you. We were talking earlier, and your coyote and your bobcat. You said the bobcat weighed more, correct?
Yeah, it did, which blew my mind.
Which is crazy because when you look at you could tell the bobcat was good size.
It's a big bobcat.
But that was also a big coyote. So when you told me that, that's crazy. And I don't know much about bobcats, what they hunt. Bobcats, do they kill like big deer, like adult-sized deer?
I don't know if they would kill an adult-sized deer, man. I've seen countless trail cam pictures, and I have a lot of buddies in Indiana that have seen with their own eyes a bobcat carrying a fawn away. You know what I mean? Like a young deer.
That was it. That was it.
There it is.
So Kyle Sams, here's what I want to say. So if you follow the page Dr. Deer on Facebook, he had a picture the other day. He had a picture of a black bear and a coyote, and he said the two biggest predators of fawns. And I wanted to get Kyle's opinion to see if he thought that was true, because people in Eastern Kentucky say that about black bears, and then we hear from black bear people like coordinators, biologists who say, nah, if they stumble upon one, they'll eat it, but if not, they're leaving them alone. I just want to know what Kyle thinks. Kyle is I've named Kyle the resident deer expert of Eastern Outdoors. He's a good friend, deer biologist.
Knows the stuff.
So Kyle, let's hear it. Gordy says Asheville, North Carolina has plenty of three-legged bears, they say, from traps. The ones that I've seen have been in Eastern Kentucky near West Virginia. So I'm wondering if people over there and West Virginia, I should say. And I wonder if people over there set traps. I don't know. Maybe it's just a coincidence that they have three legs. I've seen Pennsylvania bears with three legs. It's not like a whole slew of them, but I've seen pictures. So anyway, Tom, I when I'm watching your video, like the bobcat video today, you can clearly see trails that are going through, game trails are going through, and you're setting your sets there. Before you set barefoot tacos, come on, what's Jimmy? Jimmy's trying to get people not to like me. John Allen's already. You can look and see he's a little like, gosh, I can't believe John talked about that. Tom, before you set any traps at all, how did you choose your spots? Like I've heard you talk about scouting before on your videos. So are you just looking for normal game trails, like if you were deer hunting, or what are you doing there? Jimmy's in pre-vacation mode. Jimmy, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, man. So for me, I've had this property since 2015. I've had cameras all over it a whole lot. So generally speaking, there's choke points that I know that are frequented by coyotes and bobcats and foxes and things like that. So I use that to my advantage, one. And then two, if I see see fresh poop, man, I'm going to put a trap right in that vicinity, and I'm going to use that poop on the back of the trap, and it's going to be awesome. It's been hard though, because our weather, it's just been raining. I don't know what it's like up in Kentucky, but down here it is just nonstop rain. And then it's just wild. So like fresh sign has been getting washed out down here. And I caught that bobcat right after a snow, and I actually saw the tracks going.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, well, I know he's in the area, so game on.
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It worked out
great. Any more questions for Trapper Tom? He's new at this, but he's already far surpassed anything that we have ever done in the trapping world, and he's just a great guy. I do have one more question for him. I'm gonna save it to the end. Anyone else? Any other questions? Any other?
I'll also say with when trapping season's not in, Tom's one heck of a cat fisherman too.
Yeah, I like to do that. Oh yeah.
There's dudes that like for me, for example, if I go cat fishing, I'm gonna go catch like 1.5 pound, 2 pound channel catfish. But Tom, every time he goes, he sends me a picture, and it's like a 60-pound blue
massive.
Cat. No, like it never fails.
On the is it the Cumberland River?
Yeah, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I've got some buddies that'll be like, "Man, he ain't catching no damn 60-pound catfish," but there's some big ones, man. I've caught some nice. It catfish.
Seems like every time you go fishing, though, you catch at least 20+ pounds.
Gordy has a question. He said, "What do you do with the hides?"
Oh, that's a good question, man. So right now, I don't have a skinning shed. I don't have the infrastructure to do all the fur work that I would like to do. So what I do is I go to my buddy's house here in town, he's been trapping probably for 50 years, and he's got the nicest skinning shed I've ever seen. And that man has helped me skin them, helped me flesh them, helped me put up fur. And honestly, I give him the fur because he knows the market and he's got the time to work with that fur. So I trap it, I learn how to use it and work the fur, and then I let him make the money with it.
Heck yeah.
So an animal like a coyote that you're not going to eat, do you use the remains for any bait?
I've been told by people that I trust with trapping that certain animals are not going to be good using as bait. Possums are one of them, and if people know different, definitely jump in and let me know. But my possum carcasses, they go to an area where I'm not trapping. The coyote, same thing. But if I catch like a beaver, man, that's some of the best bait you can use for catching critters, right? Bobcat, fox, all that stuff is really good.
All right. Jimmy says, hope everyone has a great week. Back to it after the cruise. Jimmy, we hope you have a wonderful cruise. And Jimmy, I'm just going to say it. I bet that cruise ship has Wi-Fi, and I bet you can still watch. You're going to need a break from the wife. You're going to need a break from all the festivities.
John, you're going to get the man in trouble now.
No, he knows I'm kidding. Listen, I commented on his picture the other day. It was like an old photo, maybe a wedding photo of him and his wife, and I told Jimmy he was a stud. and he was, and his wife liked the comment. So there you go. Kyle says he can't answer the question about bears being predators of fawns without typing a book, but it depends on the habitat. Coyotes are more so than bears. Scott Butler's back. What did you miss, Scott? I ate a whole plate of food while you were gone. So we always use muskrats for bait. Tom, here's my last question. I did lend you the 10-point crossbow and you put it to great use, and I enjoy sharing your videos. I just don't know why I've not been invited to hunt at your place.
Man, I told Josh to get you down.
I don't know what else.
Tom, shut up.
I don't know what else I can do.
Shut up.
And at this point, I feel like our relationship is strained.
Oh, man. Let me make it up to you.
Gladly.
Okay. Opening day velvet season. Why don't you come down here and do 3-day velvet?
I'm there.
There you go.
Hey, Jimmy says 27 plus years with his wife, and this is anniversary cruise. Can we just give a virtual congratulations hand clap to Jimmy? Jimmy, we're so happy for you guys. That's awesome.
Well done, man.
That's great. Jimmy's such a good guy. He's on here every week. We love him. Scott says he believes that you use biscuits to stop the juice of everything I eat, Scott.
You know what's funny about that, though, dude?
I'm in the clean plate club.
I can remember, dude, at Memo's, she would make gravy and biscuits. And John would take gravy, biscuits, eggs, apple butter, put it all into one, smash it up. He's going to, dude, and at the end of it, he'd have an extra biscuit.
Top it up with a biscuit. I made 2 biscuits this morning, biscuits and bacon. And I made the biscuits. They were frozen biscuits. I made them in the air fryer, and they were great. Like 8 minutes in the air fryer, bro.
Dude, I've heard nothing but good things. Hey, I got a question for Trapper Tom real quick.
Yes, sir.
Dude, if you're wanting to get into trapping, where the heck do you start? Is it just researching traps? Is it researching sets? Is it researching where to put it? Like, where the heck do you get started? It's a lot of information, man.
Yeah, man, it's a ton. And I'll be honest with you, when I realized that I needed to trap beaver myself, I used YouTube, man. I found a dude that did a bunch of YouTube trapping, 330 Maniac, and I watched him and I learned so much. You can only learn so much from a video, but I learned 90% of my stuff from him. When it comes to the other animals, there's Coon Creek Outdoors. I've just used YouTube as a tool to like learn stuff as far as basic sets go. But man, just getting out there and messing it up and just putting traps in the ground and figuring it out on your own has been awesome. And it's a good way to learn.
Have you got your hand stuck?
Say that again?
You got your hand stuck in a trap?
Yeah, a couple times. Actually,
you need to video that one. You need to video it.
I do. It's a little embarrassing.
Yes.
Kind of
if you want to grow, listen, Tom, the way you grow a channel or a thing is you post controversy or you post funny things. And someone snapping their hand in the trap, it doesn't get a lot funnier.
It's going to go viral.
Man,
they're going to say, we have to watch this idiot. I mean, he's entertaining. Like, I'm not calling you that. That's just what they'll say.
That's fair. No, you're not wrong.
And for everybody watching, I know Tom just, rambled off a bunch of different YouTube pages, but if you want to get into trapping,
100%.
You need to go to Trapper_Tom.
That's right.
YouTube page and watch his stuff. Because, dude, I'm not kidding. Man, I've talked to John about it several times. Dude, your videos are really good.
They
They are.
They
Tom,
are
the first
incredible.
video, the first video I watched, I was like, gosh, he acts like he's done this before. Tom, not only did I loan you the 10-point crossbow, I made that Trapper Tom logo.
That was you?
Yes.
Josh said he did it.
Oh
I
man.
did do it.
Tom, if you knew Josh well enough, you would have known immediately that was a lie.
No, that thing is awesome, man. And you know what? I've been thinking about that for what, a year and a half ago you made it now? And I was like, dude,
Heck,
I
I don't know, Tom.
Probably.
all the critters on that dang logo until yesterday morning. I got my first coyote, man. So now I can actually proudly put that icon up there.
That's
man.
great. That's great. No, Tom is a great resource. I've learned a lot by watching his videos. Coon Creek Outdoors, I know, is a huge one.
Yeah.
And then our guy, Alan Prost, North American Trapper. He's got a TV show, YouTube channel. He's on Facebook. My oldest daughter, loves foxes. So that's her favorite animal is a fox. And when I go down there, I'm going to buy fox fur off of him. I said, now, would you like a fox fur? Obviously, the fox has been killed. She's like, I don't care. I love it. So,
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to bring that home to her next week. Scott said he caught his thumb in a 220 Conibear, had no spring clamps, had to walk half a mile
Oh
to
man.
get thumb out, right thumb, and I'm right-handed. I was screwed.
Oh.
Scott, I expect nothing less.
They make a little J hook thing that would help you out in that situation there, brother. I've been there.
Scott, I just want to know, how much did it hurt? Is the initial snap the pain, or is it just sitting there squeezing your thumb the pain? Or does it quit hurting after quarter mile? I don't know.
It hurts for about a week.
Jordan says Trapper J is fun to watch as well. Is that Jordan? Is he Trapper J? I don't know.
No,
I'll tell you what we need to do next year, man, is I know for the month of February, we're doing the contest of putting like your what you trap videos in the comment section of our post. But man, we need to get Trapper Tom. We need to get these people that are in here right now. Jordan, who was it earlier that we was talking?
Billy Outdoors,
Billy. We need to get
Rico,
Alvaro.
something.
We need to do a big event, like on a WMA or somewhere, like a weekend event.
Trap challenge.
Yeah, dude. Because I
Trap
think
challenge.
if we could get everyone together on whether it's several WMAs or one one big WMA, and just if we started now, prepping for it next February.
I think the problem with that.
What do we do in February?
we trap.
Live shows on Eastern Outdoors Media is what we do.
I think the problem with that, though, is trapping is a long game, right? Like there's not a lot of immediate success.
Well,
and Tom, a question I was going to ask, Josh just reminded me, because it is a great thought. That's why we're doing a month-long challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Tom, so one thing I was wondering about today was scent.
Yeah.
So how much does scent play a role? I see some people use gloves. I see some people, if you set a trap, do you know it's going to be a couple days? I mean, obviously you're checking it every day, but do you have to give time for that scent, maybe the rain to wash it off, or are you using something to cover it up, or what?
Yeah, so if I'm putting in a coyote set or a bobcat set, something like that, you'll see in some of my videos, I think I just put one up today, actually, of that coyote catch, and I was deliberately showing folks how I do it. But I have, like, latex gloves that I put on first, and then over those, I put on a set of work gloves. So when I'm setting the trap in, I'm very cautious. I'm not touching the trap with my hands. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm using only gloves that haven't even touched my skin, right?
Gotcha.
When I first started doing it, I didn't care. I was like, man, whatever. It ain't going to be that big of a deal. And I caught nothing. And then when I was very deliberate about scent control for my coyotes and dog sets or bobcats, man, it made a world of difference. You have to.
Yeah.
Jeremy says bobcats don't really care about scent, but I know coyotes do for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Scott says that the trap was upside down on his thumb. The slow squeeze hurt, but the blue color worried him. The lack of circulation was concerning for Scott. Scott's always entertaining on here. I love having you, Scott. And you can make fun of me all you want. Josh does it daily. I give it right back. It's okay. So, well, guys, listen, it's been an hour. in 30 seconds, it'll be an hour.
Mike
And that's a good show. Jordan says that would be fun. There was a trapping event in Middle Kentucky last week. They had crazy numbers, 300 plus raccoons, around 15 coyotes and bobcats, couple skunks, otters, and beavers. You had an otter yet, Tom?
I had one otter, man. And that was when I first trapped my land, and I'm going to embarrass myself a little bit, but I pulled it out of a 330, and I had to get on the internet to see what the hell it was because I had no clue what it was. Yeah. They're massive. If you've not seen one, they're bigger than my dog, man. They're huge.
An otter?
Yeah, they're from head to tail. They're
What am I thinking of them? Because I always see them. Daggone it.
That's
fault. I see them like along the banks of lakes. And they're tiny. Am I looking at something different?
You're just seeing their head when they're swimming. You're not seeing their body down in the water.
No, I've seen them crawling and jumping and maneuvering.
You're looking at either muskrats or mink, man.
Mink.
Yep.
Kyle Sam said it. I actually know a guy named Kyle Mink. That's funny. Muskrat. Oh my God.
He's on it too.
Mike, man.
Otters are big.
I don't know. He's got to figure that mic out, dude. You got to figure it out.
We should have ended it at an hour because that's before then it was good, and then like an hour hits, time to go.
He got knocked himself out while ago with that thing.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing something different. So an otter is huge.
They're bigger than you would think, man. They're long.
Okay. Well, I get educated all the time on this stuff. We have said this is April will make 3 years we've been doing Eastern Outdoors. Our first year was Kentucky Outdoors. We switched over about a year and a half in because we had guys like Gordy, guys like people like Billy's Outdoors who from other states are on here. So we changed it to Eastern Outdoors. And we have said from day one, we are not the experts. I am not the experts. I rely on people like Kyle Sams, Joe Lacefield, Trapper Tom, even John Allen. John Allen here is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to deer hunting. I rely on Josh for just being a solid brother. And
fishing.
Josh, we're gonna get kicked off here.
Gosh, man, you know a lot of fishing stuff, man.
Yeah,
a lot.
But Jacob Nance was on here, and Jacob Nance was clear on Thursday that Josh told him I taught him everything he knows about fishing.
Yeah, and Jacob Nance shot a button buck that looked like that he thought was a doe. So you know what?
Who hasn't?
We've all been there, man. We've all been there.
Yeah. No, it's clear that when Josh and I go fishing, I always catch more fish. He can't deny that.
Is that right?
Silence. I mean, the silence says it all, guys.
Here's the thing. And John, don't interrupt me because I know you're gonna be like, we gotta go. So just let me finish saying what.
All right, guys, that's our time.
So here's the thing with John, right? John knows how to use like one bait, and that's the only thing he fishes with, and he catches fish the size of this dip can, you know. And I like to go out.
I'm not catching a starfish, Josh. There's no fish that looks like
baits. I know how to use crankbaits, spinner baits, jigs, soft plastics. John does not, and I catch bigger fish almost every single.
I have a specific style.
How many times have you caught a fish on a spinner bait?
I hate spinner baits.
Oh, I don't care. How many times?
I've never caught a fish on spinner bait because I don't use them. I don't even own one.
Well, when you catch a fish that is 7.5 pounds,
I am a finesse fisherman. I use Ned rigs. I use shaky heads. I use wacky worms. That's what I do. That's what I prefer. Josh is, let's just throw the kitchen sink at him, see what works. And while he's wasting time, well, this crankbait ain't working. I'm going to tie this on. I'm going to tie this on. I'm going to tie this on. I'm slaying them. I'm filling them. I'm filling up the boat.
Hey guys, just go look at our videos on our.
When we get back from a fishing trip, my back hurts from carrying him.
You won't see him in them at all. We all know
I think the last video we had was Lake Cumberland on a kayak, and I smoked them, and you didn't.
Smoked them is him catching 4 fish in a whole day of fishing. So just
it was 8 in the middle of winter.
Brotherly love.
It's great. I love watching.
Anyway, people are leaving. People are leaving just because. Oh gosh, I'm in a tight corner. I just accidentally turned the Xbox on.
It's going off the rails, gentlemen.
Anyway, Trapper Tom, I would love to come out during velvet season. I would love if you decide if you catch more bobcats, beavers,
I want to try all those things. So if you got a bobcat you don't want, stick it in the freezer and I'll get it next time in Western Kentucky because I've been dying to try bobcat. Also, if you're going to be NWTF, whether you're Trapper Tom or you've been watching tonight, we'd love to meet you. If you are a bass fisherman, we got a show on Thursday. Josh and I will be on there.
Heck yeah.
These guys are welcome to join us if they want. And we're going to talk bass fishermen. I reached out to the Rookie of the Year on the Bassmaster Trail, Jay Kashurit. He's got a different last name, man. He's from like Wisconsin, Minnesota, somewhere. And he's in Florida right now, getting ready for the first tournament, but he's going to try to join us Thursday night. Josh, I hadn't even told you that yet. It just happened not too long before the show. And so that's exciting. I think the bass fishing show on Thursday is going to be really good as we continue to grow it. So share this live if you haven't already. Invite your friends to like our page. I'd love to get to 62,000 tomorrow. We only need like 20 before the live. We'll see how many we need when we get off here. We appreciate all of you. Jordan, thank you. Scott, Billy, Gordon, Jeremy, Jimmy, all of you that were on here. Can't name you all. Josh has one more thing to say, and I'm going to be kind enough to let him say it.
Go to YouTube. Look up Trapper_Tom. Go subscribe. Go watch his videos. And also, he just made his Facebook page, Trapper Tom. Go follow his Facebook page right now. Go straight from here. Go to his Facebook page. Give him a follow, like his videos, watch that crap. We appreciate it.
That's what I was going to say. I was not going to call Trapper Tom's content crap like Josh just did. I apologize to you, Trapper Tom. And I was not going to force you to do it. I was going to say we would really appreciate it. Trapper Tom would appreciate it if you follow him.
I'll do it.
If you just type in Trapper Tom, there's a couple on there though, but he's got a cool logo with a circle. It says Trapper Tom with a coyote. Yeah, he's awesome. He really is good at it. And Tom, we appreciate you. And look, all the cutting up tonight is just fun. We all like each other. And but Tom, I'm serious about coming out. I was hurt, but I feel better now. Jeremy Meyer says that he has a house on Okeechobee. I would love to go to Okeechobee. Just stay away from the Gators. Place is covered. I'm booked out a year on fishing seminar. Scott, join us on Thursday. All right, guys, have a great night. We appreciate everyone. We'll see you back here next Tuesday night, 9:00 p.m. Eastern. Or on Thursday, 9:00 p.m. Eastern for the Bass Fishing Show. Have a good week. We will see you next time.
See you guys.